I used to run my fingers through my hair in the mirror and feel my stomach drop at how much scalp I could see. Nobody warns you that after 60, thinning isn't the only problem. The wrong shortcut can broadcast it to everyone in the room, while the right one hides it completely and adds volume you haven't had in a decade. Today I'm giving you 3 short hairstyles built specifically for fine, thinning hair over 60. The exact cuts, the exact way to ask for them, and why they work when so many other flattering styles actually make thinning worse. I researched the best haircuts and styling fixes for women over 50 so you get real, usable answers, not vague inspiration photos. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every single week. Part 1. The rounded pixie with textured crown. Here's what surprised me when I first researched this. Most women with fine, thinning hair are told to go shorter, as if length is the enemy, but the real enemy is a flat crown. A pixie cut with no texture at the crown will actually show more scalp than a longer style, because there's nothing lifting the hair away from the head. You've probably had a pixie before that looked thin and flat by 2 p.m., and thought the problem was your hair. It wasn't. It was the cut. The fix is a rounded pixie with point-cut texture concentrated specifically at the crown, not evenly distributed through the whole head. Here's exactly what to say to your stylist. I want the length kept slightly longer on top, with point cutting through the crown section only, and the sides and back kept close and smooth. That phrase matters because a stylist who point cuts the whole head will actually thin out hair that's already thin. You want texture where volume is needed, and smoothness everywhere else, so the eye reads shape instead of sparse. Why this specific cut works on thinning hair is about physics, not fashion. Point cutting removes weight from the ends of each strand in an irregular pattern, which means the remaining hair doesn't fall in one flat sheet. It separates into small pieces that catch air and light differently. That separation is what your eye reads as volume. Even though not a single new strand has grown, it's an optical correction, and it's the single most effective one for a thinning crown. There's a woman I think about often, Rosalind, who came in wearing a chin-length bob she'd had for 15 years, convinced her only options were to keep it or shave it all off. She'd never considered that the bob itself, heavy one-length blunt, was pulling her hair flat against her scalp and making the thinning look worse than it was. When she finally let her stylist cut the rounded pixie with crown texture, she sat up straighter in the chair before the blow-dry was even finished. She kept touching the top of her head, almost in disbelief that there was lift there at all. The snapback moment is real and immediate. The second this cut is finished and styled, people stop seeing thinning hair and start seeing a shape. That's the entire goal. You're not hiding a flaw, you're giving the eye something structured to focus on instead. Before, Rosalind's one-length chin bob sat flat against her scalp by midday, no matter how much root spray she used. After, the rounded pixie with crown texture holds visible lift for the entire day, because the shape itself is doing the work root spray never could. That's the swap. Not more product, a smarter cut. There's a second short style that works even better for women who aren't ready to go quite this short. And it solves a completely different problem. The helmet head look that happens when fine hair is cut too uniformly. Part 2. The layered bob that beats helmet head. If you've ever left the salon loving your haircut, only to have it dry into a stiff, rounded dome by the next morning, that's not your hair being difficult. That's a one-length bob cut without internal layers, and it's one of the most common cuts given to women with fine hair, for exactly the wrong reason. Stylists often assume fine hair needs a solid, uniform shape to look thicker. It's the opposite. Uniform weight is what creates the helmet. The fix is a jaw to collarbone layered bob with internal layering cut vertically, not horizontally. Say this to your stylist. I want a bob with internal layers cut using vertical sections, not a blunt one-length perimeter, and I want the layers to start above my ears. Vertical sectioning breaks the hair into movement lines instead of one solid mass, so as the day goes on, the ends separate instead of clumping into a stiff shell. The mechanism here is worth understanding because it changes how you think about every haircut going forward. Fine hair has less natural texture to break up light on its own, so a cut with uniform length reflects light in one flat plane, which reads as thin, no matter the actual density. Internal layers create multiple planes at different lengths, each catching light slightly differently. Your hair isn't getting thicker. It's getting more interesting to look at, which the eye interprets as fuller. I think of Colette, who'd been getting the exact same one-length bob for almost a decade because a stylist told her years ago that layers would make her fine hair look wispy and thin. That advice might have been true for uneven, choppy layering, but it's the opposite of true for clean vertical internal layers. When Colette finally tried it, her first comment wasn't about the shape. It was that her hair swished when she turned her head, something she said hadn't happened since she was in her 30s. That movement is the snapback moment for this cut specifically. It's not just about how the hair looks sitting still. It's about how it looks the second you turn your head, laugh, or walk into a room. Static thickness is one kind of confidence. Hair that visibly moves reads as alive, and that's a different, stronger signal entirely. Before, Colette's one-length bob dried into a stiff, static dome that never moved with her. After, the vertically layered bob swings and separates naturally with every turn of her head, which is exactly what convinced her the layers are risky. Advice she'd carried for 10 years was simply wrong for her hair type. There's one more short style left, and it's the one I get asked about most, because it solves the problem so many women over 60 don't even realize they have until I say it out loud. Part 3. The face framing crop with curtain pieces. Most women think the biggest giveaway of thinning hair is the top of the head. It's actually the hairline around the face. As hair thins, it thins fastest right at the temples and the front hairline, which means a straight across fringe or a cut with no framing near the face makes that thinning the very first thing people see when they look at you. The fix is a short crop with soft curtain pieces left slightly longer at the temples, framing rather than covering the face. Tell your stylist, I want the crop kept short through the crown and nape, but I want 2 face framing pieces left about jaw length at the temples, cut with a soft point, not a blunt line. Those 2 pieces do something a full fringe can't. They draw the eye toward your cheekbones and jawline instead of straight up to your hairline. The reasoning behind this fix is about where attention naturally travels on a face. When there's nothing framing the sides of the face, the eye drifts straight to the hairline, and if that hairline is thin, that's the first impression every time. Curtain pieces act like a picture frame. They redirect the gaze inward, toward your features, instead of upward, toward the exact area that's thinning fastest. Diane came to me convinced she needed a wig for an upcoming family wedding because her temple thinning had gotten too obvious for any haircut to fix. She'd never tried curtain framing. Every cut she'd had before either ignored the temples completely or gave her a full fringe that made the thinning at her hairline even more visible by comparison. The short crop with soft curtain pieces changed the entire photo she took at that wedding. She told me later that her sister-in-law asked what hair vitamin she'd started taking. That's the real snapback result of this style. It doesn't just soften the thinning, it redirects the entire conversation about your face. People stop clocking your hairline and start noticing your jawline, your eyes, your smile, because that's where the frame is pointing them. Before, Diane avoided close-up photos entirely because of how visible her temple thinning had become. After, the soft curtain-framed crop made her the one asking the photographer for more close-ups at that wedding. Because for the first time in years, she liked what the mirror showed her before she even left the house. Now, all 3 of these cuts work on their own, but there's one thing that determines whether any of them actually holds up day to day, and it has nothing to do with the scissors. Part 4. The one styling habit that ruins all 3 cuts. Here's the part almost nobody talks about. You can get the perfect cut, walk out of the salon thrilled, and still watch it fall flat by the next afternoon. Not because the cut was wrong, but because of exactly how you're drying it at home. Most women with fine, thinning hair dry their hair the same way they always have, pointing the dryer straight down from above. That single habit undoes almost everything a good cut is designed to do. The fix is root lifting with a directional dry. Drying with the airflow angled up and away from the scalp at the roots first. Using your fingers to lift sections as you go, before ever touching a brush to the mid-lengths or ends. Here's the exact method. Flip your head slightly forward, direct the dryer at a 45-degree angle toward the roots, never straight down, and use your fingertips to lift small sections as the air passes through. Only once the roots are dry and lifted do you drop your head back up and finish the ends. The reason direction matters this much is simple physics again. Heat and airflow train hair as it dries, setting it into whatever shape it's pointed toward. Dry it downward, and every strand sets flat against the scalp, canceling out any lift your cut was built to create. Dry it upward and outward at the root first, and the hair sets with lift built in, meaning you're not fighting your hair all day. You're just maintaining a shape that was already set correctly that morning. Marguerite had the rounded Pixie for almost a year and kept telling me the cut stopped working after a few months, that it looked full at the salon but flat by the time she got home. It wasn't the cut aging badly. It was that she'd been drying it exactly the way she'd dried her hair for 40 years, straight down from the crown, undoing the lift before she even left the bathroom. Once she switched to the 45-degree root lift method, she told me the cut suddenly worked again. Nothing about the cut had changed at all. That's the snapback most people miss entirely. The cut was never the finish line. The drying method is what determines whether you get 8 hours of the salon look or 8 minutes of it. Once you fix the direction, the cut finally gets to do the job it was designed for, every single day. Not just on wash day at the salon. Before, Marguerite's hair fell flat within an hour of leaving the house, no matter which of these 3 cuts she tried. After, the same cuts hold their lift all day long, simply because the airflow is finally working with the shape instead of against it. You now know the 3 short cuts actually built for fine, thinning hair over 60. The rounded Pixie with crown texture, the vertically layered bob, and the face framing crop with curtain pieces, plus the one drying habit that decides whether any of them actually lasts past noon. That's more than most women learn in years of trial and error at the salon chair. Which of these 3 feels most like you? And have you been drying your hair the wrong direction this whole time? Tell me in the comments. Next time, I'm breaking down the coloring mistakes that make thinning look even more obvious, and the exact shade adjustments that do the opposite. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.